Nigeria. I am Becky Marujamu. Welcome to Newsline. To our Christian viewers, happy Palm Sunday. It's the Holy Week, and yes, wishing you all the blessings of the season. Top in the stories we've compiled for this episode is the alleged murder of a young lady by her husband's first wife. You will be hearing from the man himself and the family of the girl who was allegedly killed. Another tragic domestic incident we shall be reporting on involves a woman and her stepson. Its viciousness on many levels, I tell you. And in our first segment, the events will come with the frills we are familiar with. In that segment, we have a befitting turbaning, an enchanting wedding, and a majestic durbar, and a delightful boat regatta. Sounds great already. So I expect you to stay and savor tonight's bumper offering. Can't wait to see you later after the news by Claire Adilabu Abdul Razak. Greetings, my dear friend and esteemed colleague.
Talking about enchanting wedding, Becky, you do look enchanting tonight. All right, thank you. We'll get back to you later after the news. Hello and welcome to Abuja. We'll begin from Lagos, where the gridlock at the Akpakpa corridor as a result of yard occupancy and congestion in accessing the ports in Lagos necessitated a recent notice of non-receipt of cargoes by the Nigerian Ports Authority for the next 14 days. Stakeholders are therefore deliberating on how to achieve a more organized system to conduct export of goods. Imolayo Tokede Ogunfowora has the details.
Samuel Adegoju and Mohammed Daisk are exporters among other representatives from customs, terminal and barge operators, shippers, and freight forwarders present at the meeting. They took turns to identify some of the challenges they face while assessing the port, thereby making appropriate recommendations.
Actually, we are losing. We lost millions of dollars. There's an opportunity to have two inspection agents, different ports, for different.
The executive director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Olusegun Awolowo, stated that the federal government has been making frantic efforts on a holistic approach to ensure business activities are seamless and devoid of liabilities that can make doing business in Nigeria a nightmare.
The federal government is also concentrating more on roads, on the rail. So we will now be able to move goods by rail as we were doing in the past in Nigeria.
We're going to do an advertisement which would now seek in expressions of interest for owners of such facilities that are big enough to be designated as export processing terminals. And those locations will be inspected by the agencies, and those locations will be where you can have your warehouse, do your stuffing, do your consolidation, and inspections will be done there, and everything will be sealed in that premise.
It is expected that a seamless process on how exporters will get their containers with genuine and correct documents to the port will be achieved. In Lagos, Imolayo Tokede Ogunfowora, NTA News.
And in Calabar, attempts to expand operations in Nigeria's maritime sector appear to be paying off with the maiden loading of a chartered 7,000 metric tons capacity vessel from the Calabar port. This development is in line with the directive of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration to ensure that Nigeria ranks among top 100 countries of the world on the ease of doing business by 2023. More in Leo Ajom reports.
The Calabar port has for some years now suffered economic setbacks occasioned by the challenge of low depth and narrow channels. These challenges, which also contributed to the congestion of the Apapa port, made the federal government to prioritize the restructuring of the nation's seaports. Today, the Calabar port is not only a beneficiary of the gesture, it is set for an increase in its operations, although it is still awaiting dredging. The chartered 7,000 metric tons capacity vessel from Calabar to the United States of America, stakeholders say, will not only decongest the Apapa port, but it also has prospects to open the economy of the south-south region of the country towards improved contribution to international trade and job creation potential.
We are expecting trade to grow significantly, and based on that, our logistics and multimodal transportation system needs to be as efficient ensure that we get the maximum value for those expected growth in trade.
I want to call on the federal government, please let the dredging of Calabar Port be expedited. Let whatever legal issues, please, be settled.
Others noted the Calabar Port will also enhance the federal government's diversification drive while promoting non-oil exports. For the Cross River State government, the prospects of having the Calabar Port function in this capacity are enormous and appeal for expedited action by the federal government in the dredging of the Calabar Channel. Stakeholders stated their readiness to attract investors to the Calabar Port. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Navy says it has expanded its policy and operations to effectively tackle insecurity in the maritime space. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Anwar Gambo, who said this during his familiarization tour of units and establishments at the Eastern Naval Command in Calabar, notes that the action is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's order to restore the nation's security. Justina Eaton reports.
The familiarization visit took the Chief of Naval Staff to units and establishments, which include the Nigerian Navy Secondary School, Akbabuyo, the sites for the proposed Naval War College, the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital, and more. Addressing officers and ratings, the Chief of Naval Staff harps on professionalism and integrity, warning that the Nigerian Navy will not hesitate to sanction personnel who collude with criminal elements to perpetrate oil thefts, kidnapping, economic sabotage, and other crimes within the maritime space.
We intend to fill the gaps where we observe operationally, because our operations are very dynamic, and we re-strategize as the challenges vary.
The Chief of Naval Staff also disclosed that the Nigerian Navy will ensure the upgrade of facilities and equipment at the reference hospital, as well as capacity building of personnel.
I shall ensure our engineering personnel are availed requisite training, facility upgrade and repair kits to enable them undertake basic first-line maintenance.
The Chief of Naval Staff also reiterates that personnel who excel in their duties will be rewarded. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum has described as malicious and libelous the publication of 26th of March 2021 by Sahara Reporters online newspaper tagged exclusive for the demand of 10% on the 159 billion naira refund to Paris Club. The forum dispelled the purported story, which is intended to smear the image of its chairman and governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kade Fayemi, and demanded retraction of the fake news within 24 hours and a tender of an apology, or it will be compelled to seek legal redress in the law court. NGF says the baseless and unfounded as well as untrue tale would have been ignored, but for the purpose of setting the record straight, it becomes necessary to react to the publication and regrets the lack of factuality in the medium claims. And the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says 2 towers along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kV transmission line has again been vandalized by insurgents. Less than 24 hours after power supply was restored to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, again cut power supply to Maiduguri and its environs. TCN says this time the insurgents chain bombed 2 other towers, T152 and T153, along the same line route of the other incident that left Maiduguri and environs without power supply for 2 months. TCN assures that it will, however, continue to do all it can to ensure power supply is restored to the affected areas. And in continuation of ongoing investigation into the reported attack and attempted murder of the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, a special investigation task force set up by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, has arrived to Makurdi, the Benue State capital. The team, led by Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kiari, consists of operatives from the Tactical Investigation Units of the Force, Intelligence Bureau, and other experienced crack detectives, is expected to take over and consolidate all ongoing investigation into the incident. The team is also expected to investigate all angles of the reported attack with a view to ensuring that all persons empirically linked to the incident are apprehended and brought to book. Unprovoked killings of security operatives Meanwhile, operatives of the Nigerian Police Force have arrested 16 suspects for complicity in a series of violent attacks on security operatives and facilities in some states of the Federation, particularly in the southeastern part of Nigeria. In a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, CP Frank Mba, the arrest is part of efforts to bring into justice persons responsible for the emerging trend of attacks on security personnel and wanton destruction of security facilities and operational assets. The police says the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. And today is Palm Sunday. In Christendom, it marks the triumphant entry into Jerusalem and also precedes Easter Sunday, also known as the last day of Lenten season. Charles Alpha reports that NTA Chapel of Resurrection was not left out in the celebration, honoring Jesus Christ's victorious entry into Jerusalem.
And triumph over death, Christians regard and devote themselves to reflecting on the sacrifices Christ made to save the world. At NTA Chapel of Restoration, Abuja, Palm Sunday was marked with the traditional procession with members taking the light walk before commencing service. Vicar of the chapel, Reverend Canon Jacob Ibiatan, in a sermon on walking worthy of God's calling, admonished Christians to strive to honor and please God in everything they do. He told them to make frantic effort to serve their Creator and learn to demonstrate patience, humility, gentleness, and love. The triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, the vicar re-echoed, broke every barrier and bondage and advised Christians to look up to God for help, no matter the circumstance. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, learning the recitation of the glorious Quran, understanding its meanings, as well as practicing its teachings, are easy ways of addressing social ills and criminal activities bedeviling many parts of the country. Sultan of Sokoto Mohammed Saad Abubakar III stated this at the closing ceremony of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa was there.
Muhammad Awal of Zamfara State and Nusaiba Shuaib Ahmad of Kano are the overall winners of male and female categories of the 35th edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition held in Kano. This earned them 2.5 million naira each as star prizes from Kano State Government and slots to participate in international competitions. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar III commended the young recitation champions for their excellent performance and admonished parents to encourage their children towards learning and mastering the glorious scripture.
And what we will do as leaders, inshallah, will continue to support this musabaqa to grow stronger and stronger and stronger.
We have made a giant stride in this direction, where the administration established the first ever Kano State Quranic and Islamia School Management Board.
Borno and Plateau are among states that won in lower categories of the competition. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has sent his best wishes to former Governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the occasion of his 69th birthday on Monday. In a statement by a special advisor on media and publicity to the President of the Senate, Olawuniyi, Senator Lawan joined family members, friends, and political associates of the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, to rejoice with him for marking the day in good health and high spirits, observing Tinubu's consistency in guiding the ruling party along a progressive path for the growth of Nigeria's democracy. Also, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has celebrated with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his 69th birthday. In a statement, Gbajabiamila was full of praises for the Jagaban of Borogu Kingdom, noting that as a foremost progressive Democrat, Tinubu's doggedness, determination, and resilience, as well as commitment, makes him one Nigerian that carries everyone along, earning himself many positives. He prayed that Almighty Allah continues to preserve the life of this great man and give him the wisdom and good health to continue the work of nation building. And the All Progressives Congress has described former Lagos State Governor and national leader of the party, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, as a man of excellence, a true Democrat and great leader. In a statement, Governor Mai Malabuni, and national chairman, caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee of the APC, says Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has no doubt dedicated his life to the service of humanity, promotion of good governance and growth and development of democracy in Nigeria. The statement adds that as a leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is passionate about the future of the people as a developmental Democrat and a proponent of due process and rule of law. Also, APC Governors Forum has joined all Nigerians to celebrate the birthday of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Chairman of APC Governors Forum and Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bogudu, in a statement, commended the selfless leadership of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu to a united, prosperous Nigeria, noting that under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, in partnership with many other leaders of the party, including Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, the politics of Nigeria is passing through fundamental changes towards instituting enduring progressive governance in the country. A national leader of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has advocated the need for Nigerians to unite towards addressing the nation's developmental challenges rather than promoting ethnic, religious, or sectional interests. He was speaking during a courtesy visit to the Emir of Kano, Aminu Aro Bayero. Abdullahi Mustafa tells us more.
Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu is in Kano on a two-day visit to attend his 69th birthday colloquium and interact with people of the state with a view to promoting national cohesion.
To sustain a bridge of peace, prosperity, harmony, tolerance.
National interest, he stressed, should be prioritized by every patriotic citizen for the country to achieve its development goals. Emir Amina Ado Bayero commended the bridge builder role of the APC leader, describing him as a true patriot and statesman. Thereafter, Senator Tinubu inaugurated the remodeled office complex of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission. He also inspected other mega projects of the Ganduje administration, including bridges, ultra-modern cancer treatment facility, and the Aliko Dangote Skills Acquisition Center. Senator Bola Tinubu enjoined people of Kano to continue to support Governor Ganduje's move to take the state to the next level. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And the All Progressives Congress, APC stalwarts and other stakeholders from the South geopolitical zone have converged on Asaba, the Delta State capital, for a review of the party's constitution to reposition it for better service delivery. Rosemary Omani reports that the Deputy Senate President, Ovio Mwagege, was the chief host of the event.
In the interest of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the who is who in the South-South zone of the party, the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, represented by the former APC Acting National Chairman, Chief Victor Giadom, as well as the National Chairman of the Constitution Review Committee, Professor Tahir Mamman, deliberated for a better and stronger working document for the party. The stakeholders identifying some loopholes in the party's constitution under review made some amendments. They say end result is a constitution which will put to rest issue of disputes and serve as a role model to all parties world over.
The decision of the national leadership of our party to review the party's constitution was born out of the imperative of receiving contributions at the grassroots level in order to come up with a working document that will not only be beneficial to all members of the party, but provide equal opportunities for all.
We all need to know, from the local government, states, up to the federal level, every person, as you are able to understand, know what is the Bible, what is the Quran, you should also, members should also be conversant with the provisions of the Constitution.
There was an interactive session where party faithful did not only make recommendations for the amendments, but also drew the attention of the chief host and the national chairman of the Constitution Review Committee to some ill practices at some state levels. The amendment exercise is expected to be rounded off before the next national convention of the party in Asaba. I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
And it's time for sports, and 25 goals scored in Nigeria's top domestic football league. Let's join Amanzi Marcos for the details.
It was a harvest of goals Sunday at the Lafayette Township Stadium, with Nasarawa United winning 5-3 against Abia Warriors in the biggest win of Week 18. Lobby Stars lost away to Aqua United in Uyo 3-0, as Plateau United earned all 3 points in a 2-1 victory over Enugu Rangers in Jos. Kwara United got the only away win in Katsina, with the home side Katsina United losing 1-2. The strict quarantine rules in Australia, which has helped the country maintain a low COVID-19 infection rate, means that world number one Ashley Barty may not return home until after the end of the 2021 tennis season. She was speaking after a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Yelena Ostapenko at the Miami Open, where she is the defending champion. Obviously, with the quarantine laws in Australia, we do our 2 weeks quarantine in a hotel, and there is actually not a lot of space in the season to be able to do that just to get home for the 2 weeks. Meanwhile, British boxer Dillian Whyte is on his way to having a shot at the heavyweight world title after knocking out the Russian Alexander Povetkin in a rematch decided in Gibraltar. The impressive record of the Russian is now dented the more, having only lost to Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko in 39 fights. The result is also an answer to critics who had questioned the timing of the rematch after Povetkin knocked out Whyte in August 2020. "I am just sad I didn't get it finished in the first round," said Whyte, but his promoter is happy all the way. He manhandled Povetkin. He battered him from pillar to post. "We are back where we wanted to be. The aim remains the same, for Dillian to have a shot at the World Championship." Sports Update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And that concludes the news from Abuja. Always remember to connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. Becky will be right back after these commercial messages.
Welcome back, and now to those special reports I promised earlier. Some nations depend on tourism as a major source of revenue, and Nigeria is also blessed with natural and man-made tourist destinations. It is gratifying to note that government relentlessly empowers the creative industry, which is connected to tourism. In line with this, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed was in Nasarawa State to have a feel of the people and what more can be done to promote tourism.
Our waterfalls is a waterfall found in the central region of Nigeria. It is among the highest waterfalls in the country and significant among Africa's waterfalls when the total height covered by the waterfall is considered. During its descent from Jos Plateau State, the water drops a total height of about 150 meters. This drop is higher compared to the more popular Victoria Falls, which drops a height of around 108 meters during its descent. Driving to foreign raw waterfalls will take you through the bustling town of Akwanga. 36 kilometers away is the Wamba town that hosts this magnificent waterfall. At the border here, the people were on hand to welcome the minister.
Let me talk to you. Honorable Minister, now information and culture. Yazo daga Abuja.
Driving past small villages with quite some interesting names, like Sisimbaki. From Sisimbaki, the road that leads to the waterfall is quite a rough one, and you get to have the feel of an adventure. The host town is surrounded by hills and some kinds of thick vegetation. It is definitely one that looks friendly, but getting to the waterfall could be amazing.
It's important for us to invest in infrastructure so that these wonders of the world will be made available to everyone. The government can't do it alone. And I want to take the opportunity to also invite the private sector to invest in building infrastructure that will lead to places like this. It might be very heavy infrastructure at the beginning, but at the end of the day, such infrastructure will be worth it.
For others on the minister's entourage, this is their take.
You have come to see for yourself, and I'm sure that what you're seeing is quite exciting, quite intriguing, and something that we believe very strongly as a people. If we put our acts together and put our resources together, I believe that we can make the best out of this, because there's a lot to be derived in terms of the economy, in terms of getting our young ones engaged.
It's evident that Nasarawa is the land of outstanding natural beauty. Yes, and from what the Honourable Minister told you earlier on, that the warm reception we received from the local community is very encouraging. It shows that the people are really ready, to restart tourism.
This is exactly what the alternative economy that the Nigerian government has been talking about. This is the alternative. The investment in this, the potentials that are available. Our responsibility at NTDC is to create a digital identity for this and promote it.
Amazing location worth visiting. Still on tourism, boat regatta is a traditional heritage of the Kalabari people in Riverine community in Rivers State. It is an exciting event that indigenes and non-indigenes look forward to. Jenny Bassey reports that regattas are fast becoming famous, attracting more and more audiences.
Residents and visitors converged at the bank of the river of Abonima to participate, watch and enjoy the festival that dates back to the beginning of the community, Boat Regatta. The festival is a spectacle that depicts the state's aquatic splendor. Participants at the regatta displayed their mastery of paddling skills with canoes well decorated to the delight of all. It is a performance of beautiful colors, music, dance, and aquatic display. Beside the flamboyant display, there is an aesthetic value attached to this beautifully decorated boat and canoe.
It's not every time we will bring out boat regatta. It is on a special occasion. Not only the regatta, there is Igra. Even the Igra has its own uniqueness in the Calabar culture.
It's a tradition in Calabar Kingdom. When a prominent chief dies, these are the processes. These are the things we do to commemorate the dead.
Boat regatta is very symbolic as it showcases one of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage, which could yield enormous potentials and evolve into international tourism attraction if properly harnessed.
Regattas are colorful, got to love them. Now, if you've ever been to Nnewi in Anambra State, you can tell that the average woman values her motorcycle, and there are several reasons. Topmost is easy mobility. Chinyere Fesio Okoye tells us more about this trend from that town.
The industrial city of Nnewi, popularly referred to as industrial hub of Anambra State, the heart of the city known as Nkwo Triangle, the new motorcycle spare parts, Nkwo Nnewi, as well as the adjoining streets and suburbs are visually filled with hundreds of motorcycles on display by men and women alike of various age brackets. It will appear as if the town has transformed into a huge motorcycle village, with majority of the riders being the female folk. Findings reveal that an average Nnewi woman clutches onto her motorcycle as a sense of belonging and also a veritable companion in her daily activities. Hardly can you get a family without at least one motorcycle to their credit, even when they also own fleet of cars. Little wonder it is referred to by many as Nwanyi Nnewi, meaning daughter of Nnewi.
Some people call this a machine Nwanyi Nnewi. Is that true?
Because of all the women of Nnewis have machine. Some houses, if you reach some houses, maybe 5 machines inside, 4 machines, more than at least before 10 years, start line machines.
Why is it that most women in Nnewi drive machine? Because we are dealing with machine. Every Nnewi woman started driving motorcycle from childhood. Why is this so? Is that why they call it Nwanyi Nnewi? Yes, it is almost in short, it's in form of our culture. We are not driving bicycle.
Majority of residents of Nnewi are traders who specialize on assembling of auto and motorcycle spare parts, making it easier for every household to own one.
Is that we're much more conversant because here we sell most of the parts and all that, the motorcycle itself, we import, we export and all that. So we are much more conversant with motorcycle, and due to bad roads, you will see a man, someone that is very much wealthy, but he has the motorcycle inside. The reason is because the remote areas, the remote villages, you can go through those places with your motorcycle easily and to avoid traffic.
Even if this is my business, they help me to do the business. Without it, I cannot do the business.
Though research shows that motorcycles are 38 times more dangerous than driving a car, because if the rider hits an immovable object or someone hits the bike, the rider will be the one to get hurt or even die. Nnewi women are not deterred at all as they ride without fear, even with excess load or family members.
Oh, I can't imagine myself riding a motorbike. I can't imagine it, not for anything in the world. So I must commend the Nnewi women for being very brave. Moving on, efforts towards restoration of peace and harmonious coexistence among communities in Taraba South and parts of Benue State have started gaining momentum. Adamu Haruna Adams reports that broken relationships have been mended, courtesy of stakeholders in peace-building initiatives.
And Wukari local government areas in Taraba South Senatorial and Ukum local government area of Benue State were engulfed in ethno-religious crisis that resulted in loss of lives, property, and displacement of thousands of people from their homes. However, government establishments like the Northeast Development Commission and non-governmental organizations are deploying various strategies for dispute resolution and conflict management in the areas. A foundation for peace, hope, and conflict management, in collaboration with Taraba State Government and other stakeholders, held stakeholder meetings in Takum, Wukari, and Ukum, Benue State, as part of efforts towards promotion of peaceful coexistence among the warring communities of Jukun, Kuteb, Tiv, and Fulani, among other ethnic groups.
Find solutions. How do we end this problem and the Jukun and Tiv in Ukari live together in peace?
The foundation also put together a peace unity football tournament in Wukari, which brought together members of communities who previously could not come together.
As they start this football field, I've been seeing some changes. People are starting bringing themselves together. We have the peace. One can go to another man's house. This man can go to this one house. Before, it will not be happen like that.
We should shun about religion. We should shun about cultural differences. We should come together and stay together to promote the progress of this town.
I am very, very happy the way I see people throw. I didn't expect that.
The Muslims and the Christians are playing football, and they bring out our traditional masquerades to come and dance. And I saw some people that I have not seen for long.
They should learn to honestly come together and find mutual solutions to their conflicts. Mutual, very, very important. We cannot be selfish. We cannot insist on what we want and what we don't want.
Let us unite around a common cause to build a better future on the basis of understanding.
Meanwhile, dialogues and sensitization of communities for harmonious coexistence still go on in the affected areas.
Heartwarming to see lasting peace being restored. Let's go on a break. Stay with us for more stories. Welcome back. Apart from being a citadel of knowledge, the Ivory Tower is assuming a new responsibility of championing the cause of value reorientation and moral rebirth in a society grappling with all forms of decadence. This opinion was endorsed by scholars at the 16th Annual Conference of Fulbright Alumni Association of Nigeria, which held at Bowen University, Iwo, Osun State. Balaji Akim reports that the event coincided with the 75th anniversary of the association.
In strong terms, condemned sexual harassment and substance abuse in tertiary institutions across the country. They also underscored the dire need to find a lasting solution to this menace, as it is capable of adversely affecting the nation's growth and development.
It's becoming a challenging issue in the entire society. And I think if we want to put a stop to it, the ideas, the ways and methods must emanate from the Ivory Tower.
We told ourselves that we cannot be in the university and just look the other way. We should be able to engage in this course, do some research, and find out what is really going on and see how we can intervene.
The U.S. Embassy in Nigeria equally lent us support for every effort geared towards a sustainable growth and development of the Ivory Towers.
And so we very much support the association's effort to address these issues in a transparent way and are looking forward to making some advances in the way these issues are discussed here in Nigeria.
Whatever problems you are encountering in Nigeria, they have a way of spreading to the university. And that's why I talked about the dialectical interplay between the university on one hand and the Nigerian social formation in Nigeria.
Former Executive Secretary, National University Commission, NUC, Professor Julius Okoji, who sent a message to the conference, noted that no community can survive without society and family values, such that the Ivory Towers are not exempted from. The event featured presentation of distinguished awards to some members of the Fulbright Alumni Association of Nigeria for their contribution to the growth of the association.
Moving on, a new disinfectant, Kilrock's alcohol disinfectant wipes, fortified to kill 99.9% of viruses, bacteria and fungi, has been unveiled in Abuja. Charles Alpha reports that the product, manufactured by Safta Mobile Nigeria Limited, is sure to improve the hygienic consciousness of people.
The new disinfectant capable of killing germs, fungi, and viruses is in town and will soon be in your homes, offices, cars, and supermarkets. It is Kilrock's alcohol disinfectant wipes. Kilrock's can be used to disinfect the hands, computer mouse, personal computers, doorknobs, phones, toilets, and greasy surfaces.
Mothers can put this in the school bag of their children. All right, mothers can take this wherever they're going. People who are having parties can afford to give this to all their guests.
Nnamdi Nwokike is a Nigerian with an indigenous company and the manufacturer of Kilrock disinfectant. His ultimate aim was to find another way to stem the outbreak of coronavirus and improve the well-being of Nigerians.
You're bound to get effective disinfection, and that's why we claim that it kills 99.9% of viruses.
What are users of Kilrock saying about the product?
I think there is more irritation. It gives you a cool effect.
It's handy. It's easy to carry. In my handbag, I just put this and I'm fine.
For those of you who are into the business of handling the microphone like me, all you have to do is get a wipe, disinfect your microphone, and continue with what you know how to do best. Kilrock's was unveiled in Abuja by the Minister of Health for State, Olorunibe Mamora, along with past and present governors, members of the National Assembly, former and current ministers, heads of agencies, doctors, and opinion leaders. They were certain Kilrock's will impact positively in its own rise on health while improving the culture of hygiene.
Those wipes are really convenient. Now, COVID-19 has brought a lot of things to a standstill, but it certainly hasn't affected weddings, with the latest couple in town being Fatima Ahmed Safana and Hafiz Lawal Kuki. Naja'atu Tijani has all the juicy details.
Weddings are memorable occasions which bring families together, and when the families include political stalwarts like Ahmed Dayebu Safana, member representing Bas Ari Safana and the Musa constituency, then it's all the more memorable. The proud father gave out his daughter Fatima's hand in marriage to her Prince Charming Hafiz Lawal Kuki, also from Katsina State, in a small ceremony which took place immediately after the Nikah at Crescent Mosque Warimpa in Abuja. Dignitaries from across the country and representatives from the Nigerian Television Authority were in attendance in strict compliance with COVID-19 protocol. Afterwards, bride and groom made their joy known. The bride barely had time to say farewell before she was whisked away to her new home.
Congratulations to the couple. It was a moment of glory for Idris Balarabe Ibrahim, fondly called Mashal, when he received the title Dan Amaru from Jama Traditional Council of Southern Kaduna. He was honored for his efforts at cementing a bond of unity among Nigerians, as well as other philanthropic gestures. Kim Quartz brings to Newsline highlights of the occasion.
It's a mix of royalty and scores of dignitaries at the turbaning ceremony of Idris Balarabe Ibrahim. The title of Dan Amar Jama'a by the Emir Muhammadu Isa Muhammadu is honoring the recipient for excelling in his chosen career and service to humanity.
Thank Almighty Allah, Almighty God, for the opportunity given to me by His Royal Highness, the Emir of Jama, the Amir of Jama, to thank him and to thank the community of Jama. I'll try to do my possible best to uplift the Emirate, especially what the government is doing in terms of peace and progress and unity. You can see our community is developing fast through the work of our Excellency Governor Nasir El-Rufai. So all we need to do is to give advice.
Friends and relations say the new Dan Amar should do more for the people.
Prayers is for the Almighty Allah to give him the strength to continue to be that role model that he is to the youth and to people around him, from family, friends to workplaces.
Dan Amar has been always kind to humanity. He's somebody that always wants to assist people, more especially less privileged. So in terms of responsibility given to him, I'm sure he will not be found wanting.
Dan Amar is going to be an asset to the Emirate.
Honor well deserved. Moving down, the Nasarawa Emirate Council in Nasarawa State recently appreciated the noble roles of some of its sons and daughters in the development of the community in diverse ways. Prominent among recipients is Alhaji Shehu Usman Suleiman, a retired deputy director with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. He was turbaned as the Ubanduman Nasarawa. Ben Mitu takes it from here.
With the usual pomp and pageantry associated with royalty, so was the palace of the Emir of Nasarawa in Nasarawa State. These are royalties who stood out in their own rights, but one of them who distinguished himself in community development, education and exemplary leadership is Alhaji Shehu Usman Suleiman, a retired deputy director with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. With the traditional rights over the Emir of Nasarawa, Alhaji Ibrahim Usman Jibril charged the newly decorated title holders to be of good conduct, promote peace, protect their people, and not to engage in any act that will tarnish the image of the emirate.
You should be fair to all, lead by example and the fear of God.
The Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the General Manager NTA Lafia, who expressed joy for the pure display of culture, said NTA will continue with its mandate of promoting the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria to the outside world.
The Director General of NTA uses all the paraphernalia of NTA outreach to promote our nation's culture. And that is why NTA is at the forefront of promoting what is Nigerian for Nigerians.
The newly turbaned Ubanduman Nasarawa, who expressed appreciation to the Emirate Council for rewarding his little contributions, said this will trigger him for greater responsibilities.
From today, we'll try to do more, we'll try to be closer to our people, try to serve them the more, and be guided by the God and our religion.
Born in 1959, Alhaji Shehu Usman has served as a lecturer, civil servant, and a community leader at different times.
We say congratulations to Alhaji Usman. A report just reaching us says President Muhammadu Buhari has joined the governing party, All Progressives Congress, and teaming members in congratulating Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on his 69th birthday. The president rejoices with the patriots and statesmen on the 12th colloquium, an intellectual gathering to commemorate his birthday that has over the years turned into a veritable opportunity for discussing topical national issues and harnessing ideas that will move the nation forward. The president affirms the former Lagos State governor has inspired many leaders and continues to nurture talents for the benefit of the country, while acknowledging his role in the stability of the APC as an advocate for good governance. You're still watching Newsline. Let's take a few commercial messages now. We'll continue shortly. Welcome. Welcome back. Now straight to crime and some cringe-worthy stories. We told you earlier in our news segment that the Nigeria Police Force has berated 16 IPOB members for their alleged involvement in a series of violent attacks against security operations in the southeast recently. Over now to Francis Farm for more.
The arrest, according to the police, is the outcome of painstaking and tireless efforts by the operatives working in collaboration with their counterparts in the armed forces and others to bring to justice persons responsible for such attacks and destruction of security facilities and operational assets. Investigations by the police revealed that 28-year-old Ugochukwu, who is second in command in the Eastern Security Network, and 31-year-old Raphael were among the alleged criminal elements who attacked police on duty at checkpoints on the 24th December 2020 along Olu-Ihiala Road in Imo State, where 2 police officers were killed and a police Hilux patrol van set ablaze.
On 25th of January, when they have exchange of fire with army in Olu-Owerri Road, and 4 army were killed. Why I enter Biafra IPOB, I'm a member of ESM because I don't have a job. I feel safe if I enter ESM, I will have a job.
This 60-year-old suspect confirmed being the coordinator of IPOB in his unit and admitted providing land for the illegal security network.
I'm a member of IPOB. My wife is a member. My son is a member. My daughter is a member.
Other suspects like 38-year-old Kelechi confessed to have sold an AK-47 rifle he claimed to have found in the bush behind his apartment at the cost of 400,000 naira to take care of his pregnant wife. The force enjoins parents as well as traditional leaders to prevail on their children and words to desist from towing the destructive path of crime and further resolve to charge all suspects to court on conclusion of investigations.
Next up, news about the woman who murdered her husband's new wife went viral during the week. Clearly motivated by extreme jealousy, the scorned woman carried out the act in the comfort of their home. The man at the center of the storm narrated the sad story to Sena Musa.
Of man's inhumanity to man was again demonstrated when a 17-year-old newlywed Fatima Ibrahim was allegedly murdered by her co-wife barely 54 days into the marriage. The dream of every newlywed is looking forward to a blissful marital life, more so when married to a soulmate who is compassionate and affluent. And so was the case of Fatima, who married her heartthrob, Ali Abdullahi Barak, a businessman, and became his second legal wife. This is according to Islamic injunction. Sadly, little did Fatima, who was brought down to Mina, Niger State from Katsina after her marriage, knew that her hopes and aspirations will be dashed even before they begin. On that fateful day, the deceased went about her chores without the premonition that death is lurking around the corner as her co-wife, 24-year-old Amina Aliyu, mother of 3 and currently nursing a 3-week-old baby, allegedly conspired with her sisters and snuffed life out of Fatima in an attempt to cover up her tracks set the room ablaze. Luck, however, ran out on her, as corroborated by their 40-year-old husband, Aliyu Abdullahi Barak, the man at the center of the storm, who spoke to NTA News via phone as he traveled to Katsina for the deceased funeral.
When I arrived the house, there was no sign of fire outbreak. On entering her apartment, I saw my late wife with wounds on her head as if she was hit on the forehead. Auntie Amina's sisters were in the new bride's apartment, sitting in her room, so it's quite a shock hearing what happened afterwards.
Neighbors of the accused and her stepdaughter are still struggling to come to terms with the unfortunate incident. The horrendous tragic event, which now serves as an eye-opener to the deceased husband, Aliyu Barak, is now pointing accusing finger on the alleged murderer, who is currently in police custody.
I never prepared for this, as we have never had any heated argument with the suspect and even my new wife, but I am speculating that the act was preempted because I asked my new wife to get ready to register for an e-passport, even though I asked the suspect's sister to come along too, as I intended to take them for lesser hajj, the privilege the accused have enjoyed in the past.
A witness who happened to be the sister of the senior wife confessed to us categorically that the sister, which is the wife, used a mortar pestle to hit the deceased, and as a result of that, she was unconscious. She was lying down in a pool of blood.
Psychologically, you look at hatred. The woman may not really have been happy with the co-wife, probably not also happy with the husband. Do not allow your emotions to mislead you. Emotions from external influence, and you begin to love this kind of, outrageous hatred.
So as people continue to await the result of police investigation, only time will tell the extent of co-wife involvement in the murder saga, as time never stops telling.
Quite unfortunate. Meanwhile, father of late Fatima Ibrahim Sidi has described the gruesome murder of his daughter as inhuman, insisting that justice must take its course on the alleged killer. He spoke to Newsline crew when they visited his residence at Sabuwa Ongua, Katsina. Mohammed Balasani reports.
This is the residence of Malam Ibrahim Yahya Sidi, na Khalifa, the father of late Fatima, at the Sabur Ngwa behind Nokowa Bread in Katsina Metropolis. Speaking to Newsline on the killing of his daughter, Malam Nasidi said the killing was by design, not by accident, hence the need for the perpetrators to be punished to serve as deterrent to others.
People are coming to greet us. What happened is quite unfortunate. Her husband gave her a ticket to Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah, so her co-wife, out of jealousy, beat her and burnt her. The husband says justice must be served.
The senior and junior brothers of the deceased, Abdulaziz Sidi and Muhammad Ibrahim Sidi, who were visibly sad on the incident, described the killing of their sister as intentional simply because of hatred, saying that it's against the teachings of Islam.
This case is with the authorities. We are waiting for them. Let security do justice urgently. What happened to her is terrible. I came home and saw everybody sitting down. My mother said I should also sit down.
When I reached Fati's house, we knocked severally, but to no avail. I met her maid Aisha. When I peeped the window, I smelt blood. I asked, "Where is everybody?" I went back and continued knocking.
Fatima was born some 20 years ago at Sabur Ongwa behind Nokowa Bread in Katsina Metropolis. Her body was buried at Abu Tonu Central Graveyard as her father instructed that her remains be brought to Katsina for the funeral rites.
Condolences to the family. May her soul rest in peace, and expect updates on that story. Mothers are special people created to nurture and love. This also applies to stepmothers who, by providence, take over the responsibility of caring for their husbands' children. However, there have been many instances where stepchildren are bullied and even attacked. This situation recently occurred in Akwa Ibom State. A woman, after killing her stepson, beheaded the corpse, claiming it would prevent retaliation from the boy's ghosts. Clement Barricue tells us more on this and crimes by other suspects who are before the law in that state.
Like every young Nigerian, 19-year-old Edidiong Ime Wilson might have woken up on December 24, 2020 with plans for the day, not knowing what lies ahead. His stepmother conspired with 4 others and abducted him to a nearby bush at Ikorosekong, Eket local government area, where he was beaten to death. The suspect buried the deceased and later went back to exhume the decomposed body after 3 days, cut off the head and bury it separately on grounds that the ghost was disturbing them. The reason for this dastardly act is because he never returned the 100,000 naira the stepmother gave him to keep.
When they took the boy on bicycle, me, I was not there. When they go beat that boy. That boy was not there. Before me, I go beat them. They don't beat the boy. That boy weak.
After we beat him and finished, he did not die. He still talk with us. He said that he is having stomach ulcer. That's in money, not anything. Let us at least give him water to drink. We just give him water to drink. Mama, that thing was a mistake. And is that water that we gave that boy that make that boy to die? I'm telling you nothing but the truth.
It's our friend that just tell us that the spirit is stopping him.
Your friend told you the spirit is stopping him?
Yes, that they should just go and bury the boy. So we now went there. So the boy just go and cut his head and bury his head.
Another case under investigation by the police involves Grace Samson Edem, an indigene of Mbiabong Ibianibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Grace visited her sister-in-law with her 8 and 9 months old children. While on her way back, the boyfriend of the sister-in-law connived with 3 others, macheted the victim on the neck, believing her to be dead, abducted her 2 sons, but luck ran out of them as they were arrested by the police following the help of youth of the community. Grace was rushed to the hospital and she is responding to treatment.
The day twins come ask me, may I ask the girl for a friend for him? May I know how like his wife? No. So I don't talk with the girl. Ask the girlfriend. The girl don't accept. I carry the girl told me make I carry those the children go give his sister for house.
Among other high-level breakthroughs by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command include arrest of kidnapped suspect, attempted child stealing, and a student of Akwa Ibom State University arrested for cultism and unlawful possession of firearm.
Let me particularly state here that we are enjoying the cooperation of the state government and the public, and we indulge and beg all our citizens of Akwa Ibom State to give us useful information in time so that we can be able to keep the state crime-free.
The police say the war against all forms of criminality will continue, while those apprehended will be charged to courts.
Some crimes are stranger than fiction, sad for the victims, especially the stepson. I'll pause again for a break. Stay with us. Let's talk about food now. Nigerians may be familiar with certain seafoods, but I'm not sure about oysters. For those who've had the pleasure of consuming it, the taste is great. For others, you might want to try it. The report coming next will examine the nutritional facts and health benefits of oysters, and Utube Achibong is our guide.
The importance of oysters, just like any other seafood, cannot be overemphasized, as they are known for their rich content in protein and other essential nutrients that are required for the proper functioning of the human body. Popularly known as nkop by the Ibibios, oysters can be found between the riverine areas of Akwa Ibom and Cross River states. This seafood, which is in season now and more affordable, can be used in almost all types of delicacies, including stew, rice, okra soup, ekpang kukwo, and more, making the demand higher.
The oyster is a very good and delicious food.
that works in the body, nourish the body, and make the body very fresh. I can't stay without eating it.
I would like people to buy in cup. It's better than buying meat. If you are aged, you have to eat in cup. It's for poor and the rich people. You can use it for stew, you can use it for soup.
Depends how we have a customers. They'll come to buy it and go. Sometimes I can sell it a day, 15,000, 10,000 in a day.
With its numerous health benefits, Mrs. Mercy Umo, a public health officer, says oysters also play a vital role in the development of the fetus.
It's a very proteinous seafood that everyone needs, not even the pregnant women alone. Like your child, it can help the child to grow very well. It's just protein. And anything seafood, please don't run away from it. It's very, very good and very nutritious. And it also helps to fight against some diseases in the body.
Although different countries of the world have various species of oysters, surprisingly, this seafood is not known in so many parts of Nigeria.
Now, please, I've not seen such thing before, so I'm not sure my people eat it. But I've eaten it once the day I came to Akwa Ibom State. I've eaten it once. It was nice.
I wouldn't say we have oysters in our place because I've not seen it until I didn't know about oysters until I came to Akwa Ibom State.
But now that you know, it is necessary you give it a try, as a good quantity of oysters will not only make your meals appetizing, but its nutrients will sure keep you out of the hospital for a long while.
Confession, I've never had oysters, so maybe we should try together. Okay? Moving on, a Madala market is one of the many weekly markets that attract shoppers, mostly from the FCT. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, however, reports that although a local economic booster for Suleja, more tourists plying the Kaduna-Abuja-Lokoja highway are lamenting the bottleneck caused by activities at Madala market.
Open for business only on Thursdays. Customers, traders, and road users attracted to Madala market brave the odds and face the risk that comes with such a gathering dangerously along the highway. On display are all kinds of foodstuff, clothing, household items, competing for space with the heavy influx of vehicles.
I'm a resident here for more than 20 years. A lot of lives are lost here.
Apart from traders' encroachment into the main road, research indicates that the largely unplanned market on the FCT borderline avails many the opportunity to shuttle and do brisk business, as the market is reputed to offer mouth-watering discounts, a reality that comes at a price, considering the cost of the gridlock in terms of productive hours lost in transit.
Why I prefer this place because when you have money, you now rent for shop, you now go for shop. When you don't have money, you can stay in the roadside and do your business.
And whenever they're having a market here every Thursday, they go slow. So if government can provide enough space where people can freely do their businesses, it will be of great economic value for them too.
Seen as an asset, many agree that the market of such caliber can do without being on a major heavily busy national road and instead be relocated to a more accessible place for the benefit of all.
Yes, sanity should be restored on that location. With that, we thank you for watching Newsline. Hope to see you same time on Sunday. And a final word, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Good night and God bless Nigeria.